Hello, what's up, guys? Mike Patrick. In this video, real quickly, while it's on my mind, guys, I want to talk about the blessing of children, okay, guys? The blessing of children, because in this day and time, maybe not within the last couple years or so, maybe the last year, but definitely throughout maybe the last 30, 40 years, right? It's been frowned upon to have children, or people are so selfish in the regards of they think that children may hinder their lifestyle, or may slow them down, or they may not be able to accomplish what they want to accomplish and do what they want to do. But I ask you this question, guys: what good is anything that you do if you don't have any legacy? Okay. um there's nothing more of a blessing than children. There's nothing the father can bestow on you that is more wealth and abundance, I guess you could say fulfilling, than children, okay? For all you have children who love your children and things like that, who have a certain mindset, know this. Even people who have a different mindset, okay? They love their children to a certain degree. It's an innate nature in all of us, you know what I mean, to want to reproduce and to want to have a legacy and something that goes on, okay, and that gives your life purpose, okay, because after a while, as a lot of you guys are finding out, you know what I mean, none of it matters. Anything you accomplish in life doesn't matter if you don't have anybody or anything to pass that on to, okay, or to share in that with you, if that makes sense, while you trying to accomplish all this, that, and the third. Because you're going to be gone from here one way or another. Even if you could be immortal, you would want to probably move on at some point, right? And then if you do move on, you would probably want to leave some type of legacy, something behind, that can be referenced beyond, like, let's say if you left a hieroglyph or something like that, or just your history. You know what I mean? Imagine somebody who was really famous, but they don't have not one child, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, after a while, they're going to be more easily forgotten about. And one of the biggest things, one of the biggest fears of death for most people is the fact of you being forgotten about. Like, you was here, now you not. You know what I mean? Because as we always say, you can't take nothing with you, so all that's gonna fade, right? Um, and if and then even your name and stuff in your history, it might pop back up. Now we got the internet where you can look people up. Just imagine even 100 years ago or 50 years ago, before the internet, like, literally you could have been a world beater in your time, but if it's 30, 40 years after you done passed, people then forgot about you. You know what I mean? Unless you have like children or a family and a legacy. Okay, guys. So when we in this world and being in this world where people have gotten so material based, and got caught up in the whole idea of I'm trying to pursue this, trying to pursue that, and I'm not attack now. This is not to attack women, but this has been a big part of why the whole the whole you know children shortage, as you could say, or depopulation has been going on, is because, not necessarily because people can't have children, you know what I mean, biologically, but it's more so because people have been making decisions to not have children, you know what I mean, based on their own personal beliefs. But um, I use the Hispanics. Give me a sec. I use Mexicans as a great example a lot of times of how, like, think about how all over the world, but even not just them, in Africa and everything. Think about all over Asia. Think about all over the world, guys. People never they don't let their circumstances deter them from stop having. That's retarded. Like, to stop them from having children. Only over here, where we get so spoiled and get under a certain mindset that you think you can't have children. Because no matter what you do, I'd rather have children dirt poor, if that makes sense, and give them a chance to change their life. If you feel like you gotta be, you gotta have certain things, and if you don't, then you don't have whatever. I'd rather have children. You know what I mean? Trust in the Father to provide for you and get you through life, to be able to raise them up and get them up, and then they have their chance at life too. You know what I mean? Like, But I would never. To me, it don't make sense. It would be the worst thing in the world. It would be one of the worst things you could have happen to leave here with no children. Now, this is not to target nobody. This is not to whatever. Because some people literally may not feel this way. This is a frequency. This is a vibe. This is a state of mind. This is a way of thinking. Some people can leave here and not care less about not having children and things like that, or anybody to leave behind, or a legacy, anything like that. So it all depends on what you value and what what you here for. Me personally, that was never an option. I always wanted children, and under any circumstances, you know what I mean. And other people, and that's how you gonna remain being here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You gotta have children and you gotta reproduce. And so, like, I just wanted to make that clear for some people, because I know that is a thing for a lot of people. Okay, and some people trying to rush. I see certain groups of people and certain people now, they get it, and now they trying to, like, all right, we gotta get pregnant. Like, you know what I mean? We gotta have children. Like, it don't matter what the situation. We gotta have children. We gotta trust that everything gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Like, as opposed to thinking like, oh, I don't have enough money to have children, or I want to have this before I have children, or I want to do this before I have children, and all that. Like, you look at that clock, and you a certain age, and either you ain't able to have children, or it's unlikely for you to have children. And in this day and time, it's more unlikely for you to have children if you have a certain mind, because it's not as easy as it used to be. Especially in America, you got a whole lot of other factors to worry about if you get somebody pregnant, or if you get pregnant, and things like that. So it's easier for a woman to want to get pregnant, because the society in America has made it to where you feel like you can still get along and do what you got to do. A lot of men be thinking a little harder, obviously, you know what I mean? And you know why, you know what I mean? So, but that's the thing, guys. Like, have children, guys. Especially, it all depends on what your faith is, who you are, and everything. All this stuff is specific, but for who this is meant to, you gotta have children. Have children. Everything, it'll be fine. Trust me. Just do what you're supposed to do. One of the first things he told us to do was to be fruitful and multiply. Okay, that's the only how you gonna be here. All right, guys. Hopefully this was a good video. Peace.